Las Vegas is collapsing, and the MGM Grand is at the epicenter of the fall. Once a symbol of endless crowds and flashing lights, the Strip's biggest operator is facing empty corridors, silent casino floors, and a staggering 11.3% plunge in visitors, numbers not seen since the dark days before the pandemic. What's driving this unraveling? Soaring prices, crushing fees, and strict travel policies are hitting both tourists and workers, with more than 1.5 million fewer people walking through the city in just 6 months. Behind every laid-off concierge and every dimmed marquee are lives upended and an economic system under threat. The headline: Why is MGM Grand Las Vegas collapsing now? And could this signal a new era of decline for America's entertainment capital? The answers lie in the numbers and in decisions that changed everything. The numbers tell the story. In June 2025, Las Vegas lost 11.3% of its visitors compared to the same month last year, over 400,000 fewer people crossing the city's neon threshold. That single month erased much of the city's post-pandemic gains. Year-to-date, Las Vegas has hosted 1.54 million fewer visitors than in the first 6 months of 2024. Hotel occupancy rates have slipped sharply, dropping 6.5 percentage points from last summer. That means rooms that once filled nearly 89% of the time now sit empty more than 1 out of every 6 nights. Average daily room rates have fallen too, down 6.6% to about $193 a night. For the Strip's operators, the pain cuts even deeper. Revenue per available room, RevPAR, the industry's bottom-line benchmark, has plunged 13.8% year over year. It's not just a blip or a slow season. It's the steepest sustained slide since before the pandemic. These are not just statistics. They're the warning lights flashing across the city's economic dashboard. Vegas, for decades the ultimate sure bet, is now facing numbers that threaten the very model it was built on. Behind every percentage point lost, another hotel corridor grows quiet. Another casino floor echoes with empty space. The question is no longer if something fundamental has changed, but why. The Vegas experience isn't just fading because fewer people are booking rooms. It's being squeezed by the cost of every stay, every meal, and every ticket. A single night at the MGM Grand in June 2025, a base rate of $159, balloons to over $257 once resort fees, parking, and taxes are added. That's before a guest even touches the minibar or buys a show ticket. Resort fees alone now run over $50 a night at top Strip hotels, and coffee can cost $9. The sticker shock doesn't stop at the checkout screen. Social media and review sites are flooded with complaints about hidden charges and a sense of value lost. For many, Vegas just isn't a bargain anymore. International travel, once a steady stream of visitors, has slowed to a trickle. Inbound tourism to the U.S. is projected to fall 8.2% in 2025, with international arrivals to Las Vegas down an estimated 13%. Visa delays and stricter entry rules are keeping Canadian, European, and Asian tour groups away, while trade disputes and political uncertainty add another layer of friction. It's not just leisure travelers feeling the pinch. Convention and corporate bookings, what the industry calls MICE for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, are down as companies tighten budgets and rethink travel priorities. The result? Fewer big spenders, shorter stays, and more empty seats at the tables. Price fatigue and policy headwinds are reshaping what it means to visit Las Vegas, pushing operators like MGM to rethink how and for whom they do business. MGM sits at the center of the Strip's transformation. With control of nearly a third of all hotel rooms in Las Vegas, its moves ripple far beyond its own lobbies. In April 2025, MGM Resorts shut down every in-person concierge desk at 6 of its flagship properties: MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, New York, New York, Park MGM, Vdara, and The Signature. 34 dedicated concierge roles vanished overnight. The company's official explanation? Guests want digital help, not face-to-face service. The rollout of app-based support and centralized call centers was framed as innovation, but for longtime staff, it was a blunt cost-saving maneuver. Internal figures later revealed annual labor savings north of $30 million from these and related cuts. The shakeup didn't stop at the front desk. By September, reports surfaced that most corporate human resources vice presidents had been let go, consolidating oversight into a leaner, centralized team. Some sources claimed as many as 800 mid-level managers lost their jobs across MGM's Las Vegas portfolio, though executives declined to confirm the numbers. The message behind the strategy was clear: fewer boots on the ground, more reliance on technology, and a relentless focus on margins. Bellagio and Aria held on to live concierge desks, outliers reserved for the highest-paying guests. But elsewhere, guests were steered to kiosks or apps for everything from show tickets to dinner reservations. The scale and speed of these changes show a company bracing for a future with fewer visitors and tighter wallets. MGM's calculus is simple: cut costs now, digitize wherever possible, and hope the bottom line holds. For the city built on service, the human cost is just beginning to surface. Maria's paychecks used to cover the rent and leave just enough for groceries and her daughter's school supplies. Now, after 13 years working housekeeping at MGM Grand, she's down to 3 shifts a week. No overtime, no promise of extra hours. The cutback started quietly, one less day on the schedule, then another. Her union grievance sits unanswered. Last summer, she could count on a full week's work and the chance to pick up extra rooms during busy conventions. Now she waits by her phone, hoping for a call that rarely comes. The food bank line stretches longer every week. Maria's take-home pay is down nearly a third from last year. James, a security officer at a neighboring MGM property, faces a different kind of uncertainty. He used to clock in for 40 hours, steady and predictable. This month, he's lucky to get 2 or 3 shifts. He started driving rideshare on his days off, but with fewer tourists in town, the fares barely cover gas. His wife's job at a strip restaurant is no safer. Her tips have been cut in half as tables sit empty and guests skip dessert. For tipped workers across the city, the numbers are even starker. A cocktail server at Mandalay Bay says she once cleared $400 a night in tips. Now, she's lucky to bring home $120. The ripple runs through every paycheck, every kitchen table. The old Vegas promise, steady work, good tips, a shot at something better, feels more distant than ever. Household budgets are stretched to the breaking point. Behind the shimmering marquees, lives are quietly unraveling. The downturn isn't contained to the Strip. At Harry Reid International, passenger traffic is down nearly 4% compared to last year, a sign that fewer travelers are even stepping off the jet bridge. That slowdown ripples outward, hitting neighborhoods that depend on the city's relentless churn. Unemployment in the Las Vegas metro area reached 5.6% in August, one of the highest rates among large American cities. For small businesses, that means fewer customers and tighter margins. Local diners and corner stores, once buoyed by the overflow from casino crowds, are now struggling to cover rent. Rideshare drivers circle empty curbs. The economic shockwaves stretch far beyond casino walls, exposing just how much of Las Vegas's lifeblood depends on people coming and spending from somewhere else. Negative word of mouth now moves faster than any marketing campaign. TikTok threads and Reddit posts about $9 coffees and $50 resort fees go viral overnight, painting Las Vegas as a city that nickel and dimes its guests. Booking sites are flooded with reviews warning of hidden charges and sticker shock at every turn. In response, some competitors like Resorts World and Sahara have begun waiving resort fees or offering free parking, hoping to win back trust and fill empty rooms. But for every fee waived, a new complaint surfaces about long lines, cut amenities, or a once glamorous experience that now feels hollow. The more Vegas tries to patch its reputation with discounts, the more it confirms the sense that value has vanished. The cycle feeds itself. Bad reviews push prices down, but the deals can't restore the magic. In June 2025, Las Vegas recorded an 11.3% drop in visitor volume, the steepest decline since the pandemic rebound, according to LVCVA data. That single month summed up a broader trend. Nearly 1.5 million fewer visitors passed through the city in the first half of the year. Hotel occupancy and average room rates fell, and MGM Resorts moved to cut services and jobs, closing 34 concierge desks and shifting to digital support. These decisions, documented in company releases and news reports, left frontline workers with fewer shifts and shrinking tips. While gaming revenue has held steady in some months, thousands of service sector jobs now hang in the balance. What remains unknown is how deeply these cuts will reshape the city's economy and whether visitor confidence can return amid continued fee backlash and strict travel policies. For now, the evidence is clear. Las Vegas and its largest operators, like MGM, face a test of resilience as the foundations of its tourism model are put under historic strain.